The reason why I want to talk about it, because me and Zen, we absolutely loved Lords of the Fallen. We have a VOD of us playing it. We have a funny edited video of us playing it, courtesy of Mike's editing. People psychotically breaking down over, you know, women looking like women in the game. Apparently that's a problem. Before we even get into the video, this is how women in Lords of the Fallen look like, especially the hands-on woman. God dang, it's like hands for days. Get your woman like that, hands on, my guy. I like when the design of the character looks good.
Lords of the Fallen 2's idea of female armor is downright embarrassing.
We believe it's possible to be entertained without demeaning women.
Wrong! What is up?
There was nothing demeaning about those outfits, though. I'm sorry, I've seen people wear less in the summer.
Space pirates. This is your admiral, the understandably uncompromising Dr. Disaster, and the
I just hate the double standard. Cannot have hot women, but need to have hot dudes. They do like to play up the hypocrisy, don't they?
feminist screeching harpies who have infested the gaming industry.
Every time that topic gets brought up, yeah, like all I remember is women from gacha games. They look too good, right? But Love and Deep Space, yes. Or like a Marvel Rivals, the women there, they're too hot. They're just too hot. Meanwhile, the dudes in Marvel Rivals have bigger butts, and the same people were gushing over in the more underwear skin, where he's literally almost naked.
Really do not like the idea of attractive female characters in games. They see that shit and go, the mentality behind their crusade against the
Wait, was that from that Robin Hood like comedy movie, Men in Tights?
male gaze
Probably, yeah.
is that they simply see it as a means of exerting power over our culture. Games have largely been made for men because men.
I think we should all be able to goon. I think the same thing. I think that men and women both should be able to goon over video characters. I think the fact that people are picking and choosing which gender gets to goon is kind of dishonest. Here's shocker. Not everyone goons over video characters. They will look at designs and go, that's nice, that's actually on brand, that actually fits in the world. Not everyone is even gooning over it.
Men are largely the ones who play video games, in their incessant quest to prove that actually men and women are precisely the same, though. Feminists decided they needed to nuke anything out of the industry that would be considered attractive to straight male gamers, thinking that if they pump games full of progressive diversity, then women would flock to video games, proving that the years of men enjoying games like Halo and Tomb Raider and Gears of War all just happened due to some kind of conspiracy to keep women out of the hobby. The message they've been trying to convey.
No, I don't agree with everything he says right now. Also, I did want to crack this joke. Video game journals just sitting there writing the article, having to add at least a sentence of the actual gameplay review rather than virtue signaling. Yep. That is them. This is when you force them to at least include a sentence of gameplay review.
I know.
No matter how they try to change this fact, women do not seem to care for video.
Bro, they up the graphics so much. Holy hell. If you compare like the first one to the new one.
Yeah, that thing is crazy.
Oh, damn, the graphic. Like, it just the detail, the veins and everything. Damn.
Video games anywhere near as much.
Every time I'm faced with like the trailers of Lords of the Fallen 2, I get so hyped up about it.
As men. This is why
this goes hard.
Tweets like this go mega viral.
I know it's unpopular, but it always be unattractive for a grown man to play video games. Some women might be understanding or pretend like they don't care. You spend hours playing, but they do find it extremely unattractive. Okay, so this is something we'll be talking about after this as well. Like after we're done talking about Lords of the Fallen, we'll just do a dedicated talking about this.
This jackass wrote on X,
I know this is unpopular, but it will always be unattractive for a grown man to play video games. Some women might be understanding or pretend like they don't care that you spend hours playing, but they do. It is extremely unattractive to women and will never not be.
It's like where do these people get off acting like they're allowed to talk on behalf of all the women?
these feminist clowns will say shit like this and then, with a straight face, try to tell you that actually there are just as many female gamers as male gamers.
That's stupid! Use your common sense!
With that in mind, as we talked about yesterday, the developers of Lords of the Fallen 2 just revealed a series of new female armor pieces for their game, and as you can tell from the image,
yeah, what's wrong with it? I've seen way worse in games. What's wrong with this? The fact that they're talking about the outfits rather than the fact that they signed an exclusivity contract with Epic Games where they first are gonna publish it only on Epic Games, that should be the point of discussion, not the outfits. You can see where their priorities lie, right? They don't want to talk about the supply of the game. They don't want to talk about the potential performance of the game. They don't want to talk about how being Epic Games exclusive could actually kill the game. They want to talk about tits and ass. That's the only thing on their mind 24/7, tits and ass.
there, these are absolutely not in line with what feminists want to see in gaming. That is why we see rags like Polygon here losing their shit over the fact that this armor exists. They wrote,
Action art.
Didn't they change that? I think the CEO said they bought the exclusivity back. Hold on, let me check that. According to Tech for Gamers, Lords of the Fallen 2 would be coming to Steam as Studio Boss teases ditching Epic exclusivity. So it's not 100% confirmed. In that case, wouldn't it make more sense to talk about this part even more than the outfits?
RPG devs make a desperate plea for relevance with horny armor designs.
the meltdown is hilarious and glorious to behold.
Bro, like, can these people like go even a second without having to bust a nut from seeing a pixel? Like, I don't understand. It's like they see anything in a game, come.
Lords of the Fallen 2 looks poised to sell pretty damn well, so it's funny as heck to watch people like the creep who wrote this article come to realize that their opinion just doesn't have any weight in the industry.
Why? Because I'm a woman?
Yeah.
Alright, me hearties, first of all, I want to point out what appears to be complete hypocrisy of these clowns in games journalism, these same people who are pissing and moaning about games like Lords of the Fallen 2 think that it's just fine and dandy to have characters like Leon in Resident Evil that women openly thirst over. They can have a character like Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3.
Or, you know, I referred to earlier Gambit outfit. I didn't see anyone complain about that. Or Namor half naked. Again, I didn't see people complain about that. I only seen the opposite, people who complain, they gushed about it.
Bare ass naked, and this is totally fine for them because it suits their goals of catering only to women and LGBT folks and pretty much just anyone who isn't straight and male. And ultimately,
the whole aspect of LGBT, and this is why they make women ugly. Are people forgetting that bisexuals and lesbians exist too, and they like this as well? Like, are we forgetting that part of the rainbow?
You just have to understand that this isn't even really hypocrisy for them so much as it is hierarchy. The feminists put themselves above all others and literally just don't take into account what other people want. So it isn't hypocritical because they are actually living according to their belief system. It's just
Also, it might be just me and my algorithm on Twitter. I've seen more men who are trying to get brownie points with women who are complaining about women in video games, how the characters look, rather than women.
just that their belief system is incredibly vapid and utterly self-centered.
I also seen people like use like religion to want to censor how women look in games.
Another thing I have to point out is that I am a happily married guy who doesn't actually care one way or another about armor sets like the female armor sets that pissed off these game journalists from Lords of the Fallen 2. I won't even be playing as a female character because, when given a choice, I almost always play as a male character. But I do appreciate the existence of this armor, not because I want to see it or need to see it or anything like that, but these days it's a symbol. Stellar Blade was the same way. Every time a game comes out with a character that is an actually attractive female, it exists as a symbol which stands as
Poe Tassi was one of the journalists trashing on Lords of the Fallen. I don't expect anything good from Poe Tassi. Ever since I learned of the existence of Poe Tassi, there's only been shit from Poe Tassi.
As a bulwark against the feminist onslaught against the hobby. Like I said, I'm a married man with kids and all that sort of thing, but I remember what it was like to be a single young man, and back in the day I absolutely played Tomb Raider, and I appreciated that Lara Croft was easy on the eyes. Whenever a character that straight men would like to look at comes out, it basically marks that.
You see, when I played Tomb Raider as a child, I didn't think that, oh, she looks nice. I thought, oh, she looks badass. I really want to grow up to be like her.
Game these days as being uncorrupted by feminist dog shit. That is why these people hate stuff like what we're seeing with Lords of the Fallen 2. That's why they hate it so much. As I said at the start of this video, their fight against the male gaze is them simply trying to exert power over the industry and the culture at large. Anyhow, let's read a bit of this article here from Polygon so you can get a sense of how they're whining about this. They wrote here, "It's hard to stand out in such a competitive video game market, but the people behind the action RPG Lords of the Fallen 2 are trying their best. The developers at Hexworks revealed the latest designs for the game's female armor on social media on Monday, which it claims to have produced with fan feedback in mind. And as I covered yesterday,
And this is the only feedback any studio or any developer should listen to. They shouldn't listen to game journals. They should listen to people who actually buy their games.
Yeah.
We've already seen what happens to game studios when they listen to investors, when they listen to game journals, when they listen to Twitter freaks who... Those Twitter freaks who have never bought their games, why would you want to pander to them?
that is just categorically correct. They held a series of polls, asked people what they wanted, and then designed the game with that in mind. You feminist weirdos may not like the results of these polls, but tough shit. In the same way that you need to show up and support the games that you supposedly enjoy, you also need to vote in these polls if you want to see different results. But these people didn't show up because they don't actually care and/or they don't exist in large enough numbers to do anything about making any real change in video games. Anyhow, the article continues, the studio is evidently so proud of these designs, which it calls provocative, that it unveiled them via a 20-minute behind-the-scenes video. Provocative is one word for it, here's another, generic. If I saw the artwork out of context, I'd probably assume they were the product of a vague AI prompt for a female character in a dark fantasy.
I mean, yeah, when in doubt, just say it's AI, right?
Perhaps this outcome
It's becoming a cop-out.
was unavoidable. On the whole, the game doesn't have a unique aesthetic. Well,
What do you mean it doesn't have a unique aesthetic? It's kinda easy to like differentiate Lords of the Fallen from other Souls-like games.
It's just like a very grim, dark, fantasy, like RPG. And honestly, I feel like it's very unique in its own way.
Oh,
It
yeah.
definitely paved the path for itself.
well, let me just throw this out there though. These days, this isn't generic at all to see
It's
outfits
not.
like this. It does
Not even the outfits. Holy hell, I cannot. Okay, maybe I apologize if I sound like a fangirl towards Lords of the Fallen, but I really like the universe. I really fuck with it really hard.
stand out in the crowd because few developers are willing to make this sort of armor anymore, which is why these journalists are so pissed off in the first place. It's why this person is writing this article.
Oh,
That is
wait, that seemed kind of hitting hard though.
what makes this
That was
news
cool.
Yeah.
supposedly newsworthy. They believed, these feminist game journalist types, they believed they had nuked this sort of thing right out of the hobby, and the people at CI Games, particularly their CEO, have made it clear that they are standing with the gamers who are consistently voting that they want this sort of thing. But
Ooh, that was
what's
nice.
really amusing to me about the meltdown from these game journalists is the fact that they act as though this sort of armor is being forced on you in this game. But in reality, these outfits that we've been looking at are just a few of the handful of armor outfits available as the official Lords of the Fallen account posted on X. With extensive styles to suit every player, you have complete freedom over how
Shouldn't they be happy? Like, there's diversity? Or is what? Armor diversity not good enough for them?
Come on, guys, diversity in armor pieces. You can see men with no shirts, man with no pants, and vice versa. Come on, guys.
Like, when me and Zen were playing Lords of the Fallen 1, we were literally running around in underwear with the cone heads on. There was fan service for everyone when we were playing.
Bro, what is?
Yeah, I don't
this?
want to go there.
Let me. I'll do it. I'll kick the ladder. Stop moving me. What the?
Skin to skin, baby.
Fuck.
Stop, baby.
All right, don't move.
Bro, I sound like I smoke like 10 packs a day. Like, you can play however the fuck you want. You can play it seriously, you can goof around. Like, there's so many things you can do in this game.
how your character looks, fights, and survives. All armor sets can be worn by all players. Over 100 armor sets at launch, including many with full coverage. Mix and match any individual armor piece. Heavier, fuller covering armor offers greater protection, and vice versa. Every armor piece is grounded in our world's lore and history. Full character customization with extensive slider functionality, and then at the bottom of the post you can see one of
But is there a butt slider? Can someone explain to me why all the games kind of forget about the butt slider? I say, make it bigger. I have a bone to pick with every single game in the world that has customizable characters. Not a single game gives me an option of making a plump, luscious butt. They will give you an option to make the hips wider, but the buttocks itself, them juicy cheeks, that shit? Name a single game where you can actually make the butt cheeks themselves luscious, not the hips. So you see how in, like, for example, Make a Break, right? Everyone's gushing over how sexy you can make the characters. But you see this part, right? How flat this is? That's what I'm talking about. Why is there no slider to, like, you know, like, push this like here, right? Like, make it plump. Like, what I'm talking about. And I'm not gonna use a different person, for example. I'm gonna use myself as an example because I don't want to put another person who has nothing to do with it in this position. You see, like here, like where it goes curvier over here, right? Like right where the butt actually starts. Not here. Like, it doesn't go curvier from here. It goes curvier from here, right? So you see what games are doing? So it like they like do that here, but they don't do it from here. This is the slider I'm talking about. Give us a realistic slider. So the way realistic sliders in games are supposed to be, you should technically have 3 sliders for the butt, okay? You have 1 slider here, 1 slider here. So like that would be like this and this, right? And then the third one, like the width of it, right? Like here, like. So instead of like 1 slider, there needs to be like 3 sliders for the butt itself. Thank you, Lifu. This has been a problem I have had for years. Exactly. It's been bothering me so much.
Welcome to the channel.
I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about butts, apparently. I don't know. It's been bothering me. Bro, don't get me started on like sliders, okay? For the love of God, give us proper thigh sliders. Holy crap. I am so tired of the thigh sliders making my characters look like a chicken leg. Notice she never asked for a nose slider. Shut the f up.
Of these outfits, and it happens to be a fairly modest, non-revealing outfit. So here's the thing. These game journalists and feminist clowns are simply pissed off at the existence of something that can be enjoyed by men. They just cannot stand the idea that there's an option in a game somewhere that they don't fully approve of. They believed they had fully captured the industry, but they haven't. And this is a stark reminder that at least for now, there is still somebody out there in AAA that they don't control. Well, tough shit, Harpies, but screech on, we all find it funny. Anyhow, make sure to hit the like button on this video.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to add about my opinions on all of this. I think I've been pretty vocal about how I feel about, you know, these game journals. The world design for Lord of the Fallen is so metal. Oh yeah, oh, it's so good.